Okay. Oh, let me move my, I just dropped my eyeliner. All right. So really going to start already on me. Hi, Selkie. Let me get my feed up here so I can see everyone. All right. Now, hi, Justin. Willow Dragon Dance, hello, and Darian, thank you. And Tattooed Spirit, yay for Friday, right, Jeff? Oh, it's been a week. I'm so glad it's Friday. I'm so glad you're here. Skeleton Dancer and Selkie, Spiral Heart, Ellen, Silver Willow, Jack, Spiritual Splendor, Desist, Tamara, which I think now I'm doing it right. Kay, hello. Cece and Misty, hi, hi, hi. Hi, Fairy Luna Wolf. Okay, so, I just screwed up this whole thing. What did I do? No, I didn't. I just lowered it. Okay, hi, Ellison. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, guys. So how is everyone tonight? My Friday was at least a little better than the rest of my week has been. And I'm really, really glad that this Friday is here because I've had enough of this week. So I'm glad that Friday is here for sure. We are going to be doing Sorba hanging in there. I got your name in my Reiki basket over there, girl. We are going to be doing a reset ritual on Sunday. I'm not sure what time yet. Another shit show for me. Ready to cleanse myself tomorrow with some sage. Ugh, sorry, Darian. Yes, definitely. I think we all need a reset ritual. So what is a reset ritual? Let's talk about that real quick. We are just going to reset our energies. So we're going to cleanse the stuff that's been around because it seems to be a lot of shit for a lot of people since the beginning of the year. And so we're just going to cleanse all the energy out and bring some prosperity and some good vibes back in and kind of reset everything and start over anew. This week sucked here. Oldest broke his foot. Oh no, and youngest is having night terrors. Oh, Kainara. So, Kainaria. Am I saying that right? Sorry, honey. Hi, Joyce. It's been one of my most difficult weeks in a long time. Oh, well, I'm glad you're here too, Kay. Hi, Moondust. Sherry Bug. Ship for me as well. Ugh. Oh my God. Yes. New beginning. Yes. I really think. Hi, Johnny. Kenria. Oh, thank you. Hi, Denise. So we're going to do it with as many of the admins as we can. My husband is so cranky. Oh, poor thing. I know Leolyn and Maddie both said that they were going to be there Sunday. I believe Hexen has to work like all weekend. He's closing all weekend long. So I don't think Hexen will be there. I might be on and off for now. I'm waiting for my food. That's okay. Food is important for sure. So we're going to do it with Google Hangouts so that you can see. Yes, it will be right here on YouTube. Hi, Chaos. And so that way you can see more than just me. You'll be able to see Leolyn and you'll be able to see Maddie and whoever else is there. Hopefully Steven will be able to join in, but I'm not sure. Doing okay here, but my son's dog got sprayed by a skunk. Oh, yuck. Oh, that's horrible. Oof. Yuck, 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 yuck. You poor thing. I've been having difficulties with a guy, crazy work and lots of nightmares. Cleansing will be good. Yep. That's okay. You guys don't have to know Google Hangouts. It'll be right here on YouTube. It's us that will be, yes, it will be on my channel. It's us that will be doing it through Google Hangouts. That's just the medium that we're using to be able to switch back and forth. So basically, it's like when Simon interviews someone. That's what he uses when he interviews someone, so that whoever's talking can be seen on YouTube. So we can, do it where everybody is, able to be seen. So yes, I hope you all will be able to watch. Kenria. Now, going back to the night terrors, I will tell you, and believe me, this doesn't mean that that's, a definite thing. But when my youngest was a baby, that's what happened to him. He started having night terrors, and we didn't know what it was, and we couldn't stop him from having them. And there's, obviously, if you've been dealing with it, there's no way to, to interrupt those night terrors. He's someplace else. We found out that his were due to the fact that he was born a medium. So he was seeing those who have crossed over, those who had transitioned already to the Summerland. And so he kind of would get stuck in between planes. And so check that out. I don't really know how to advise you to look into that until they get a little older and are able to talk a little. It wasn't until Joey was able to talk that we figured out that's what it was. But keep that in mind that, that's a possibility. Same with me and my son with the night terrors. So, you might want to start by saging the room and, just do some stuff that will hopefully help energetically. Let's see. I will be praying to Hecate as I paint my brother-in-law's cancer-free gift. Oh, good. Good. Gave him some sweetgrass incense and balsam jar candle today, and he says the smell is better in his house. He got his dog cleaned up last night. Oh, gosh, how horrible. What time is this happening, Gypsy? I'm not sure yet. We're going to try to do it when we have as many of the admins as possible. I would like to try to shoot for my normal time on Sunday, so for like 7:30 or so. Hi, Leolyn. Leolyn, are you not a moderator on here? Yes, you will have notification. Yes, absolutely. How did I not make you a moderator when you're one of my admins? That's so weird. I see shadow hands dragging across my ceiling all the time. Sleep paralysis. Yeah, we all need a reset for sure. My nightmares lately I can't get out of, even if I wake up. When I go back to sleep, I'm in the same dream. I don't know that is night terrors, but it's super annoying. I used to see weird dreams when I was little. I did see lots of shadows. I still do. Dream catchers. Yep. If you are able to have someone that knows what they're doing, create the intention for the dream catcher. Unfortunately, because dream catchers became so popular, people who make them don't necessarily know what they're doing. You make them, Shauna, that's awesome. So when dream catchers are made, you have to make the intention while you're making it of catching those night terrors and bad dreams and that kind of thing. And so just make sure, or you could do it if you know how to set the intention of something. I would try to set that intention and bless it and stuff before you put it in their room. But yes, absolutely. I have the weekend off to be cleaning the house in more ways than one. Yes. Yes. We'll have a notification. Yes. Still occasionally have them when I astral travel. Yes, me too, a little bit. I'm an empath, although shielded 98% of the time, so he might be, yes, be sensitive to spirit for sure. Absolutely. All right. I've been watching all week, and I'm pretty sure there's something trying to get me hurt. Ooh, really? Well, that's not good, Moondust. Do you know how to do protection? I did a whole video a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was a month ago. I can't remember. On protection magic. So if you don't, take a look. We had some really good ideas in there. Sometimes a part of your soul can get trapped in the underworld and can cause, yes, yep, absolutely. All right, I have 3, haven't had a nightmare since. Perfect. I go through sleep paralysis often. It's very disturbing. I know what my husband did for a little while too. Tension definitely needs to be with them. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. How can you tell if you're astral traveling or dreaming? So when you are astral traveling, you should have the intention of astral traveling. And it's usually not when you sleep. Now, once you have intentionally astral traveled before, sometimes it can happen in your sleep because you have this intention when you go to sleep to, do what needs to be done. But until you have, hi Tom, until you have done it purposefully, it won't happen in your dreams just by accident. So hopefully that helps a little bit. And then once you've done it purposely, then you will know. There is a difference for sure. Just thought on having, damn it keeps skipping for me. Just thought on having a drama-free year. One, time is relative. Yep, that's true. Change, if not done gradually, can be quite jarring for some people. That is so true. Very true, Rich. And hello, by the way. I'll watch your video for it. So I've been getting touched all the time throughout 4 weeks now. Yes, Moondance, please go watch that video for sure. We had a lot of good ideas because we had some problems, within the inner group for a little while. So, I know someone who is Native American and makes dream catchers. Perfect. Yep. I have a dream catcher my grandmother made for me when I was little. That is awesome. Definitely do some cleansing, warding, protection. Yes, for sure. Do you have a video about how to astral travel? I think we talked about it in one of my psychic videos. I have not. Here's the thing. I will. If you want, go put it on my list. I was just looking at my list tonight, as a matter of fact. In the files part of our group, there is a videos you want Jen to do. Go put it on that list, and I will. You have to be careful. So I was a little hesitant to do a video on exactly how to do it. But I will. And I just want to, but I'll talk about it on the video. I just will make sure that I would say the first couple of times that you do it, I would have someone that you trust there. Just in case, because, when you travel outside of your body, weird things can happen. And not that they happen a lot or that, it's a common occurrence. It isn't. But you want to make sure that you have someone there just around, just in case. But put it on my list, and I'll do a video on it because I know people have been asking about it a little bit. So consider having a crystal next to your bed. Yep, absolutely. Sure, will do. Okay, So I do want to get into, we had a question in the group from, and now I can't remember, from Faye, from someone, Seal of Solomon necklace from Amazon. Yep, that's true. That's true. About how to introduce children to paganism and to witchcraft in general. So many ways. Oh, I have so many ideas about this. Phelan, yes, thank you. I knew, I was like, Faye? No, that's not quite right. Yes. Hi, Starlight. So I did want to go through some of the stuff. I, raised my children. Now, my children, my youngest was pretty young when I became a pagan. My older children were, I think, teenagers by the time I became a pagan. So I did get through quite a few ideas of, how to introduce them, because I incorporated them with our practice. I know when I'm astral traveling, because I jump really high, can move around where I want to go, land on the ground, then bounce back up. Yes, absolutely. Aw, you got to leave, Shauna. You can come back, and watch it later if you can't come back while it's live. I can remember that. I can't remember where my other set of car keys are. Kids are a lot more open to spirituality. Absolutely. And they so are. And it's so refreshing if you have children to be able to work with them and teach them and open them up, because they are so much more open to it. I'm homeschooled. My son incorporated paganism into his lessons. Absolutely. Absolutely. Boy, this is a topic that is a lot to cover when it comes to kids. Absolutely. Can't wait to start talking to my daughter about the metaphysical. Yes. And they, because they were in the Summerland so much sooner, time-wise than we were, it's much easier to, oh, I bet, Jez, that's like a dream. How awesome would that be? Although, my youngest, he pretty much has been raised with pagan beliefs. I call it bilateral beliefs, because Peter is Christian, but not, he's I don't know what I would call an open Christian, I guess. But he's very knowledgeable, so he's taught him that way too. Hi, Stephen. That's all right. You're here. Hi, Caitlin. Okay, so first of all, let's say, just to start out with, the first thing I would do with my kids, my mom is very hesitant on the way I'm trying to raise my baby girl. Mothers think that they're right about everything, and we just have to be able to say, you raised us, you have to let go a little bit and let me raise mine. Just found your channel, and I love it. Oh, good. Well, welcome, Darby. My 11-year-old granddaughter is psychic, loves her book of sunshine, and is kind of a garden witch. She loves making rhymes for the garden. Awesome. And I will tell you, so the first thing I can remember with my children is sitting down and talking to them about trying out, the correspondences that we talk about, that I talk about. Hi, Cascada, a little bit, but you're good. We're just starting a topic, really. Trying out like different herbs and seeing what they do for you, and trying out different crystals and seeing what they do for you. So one of the first things I can remember with my kids is, as a matter of fact, I kept one of the bottles of my 19-year-old, and I think I have one of Joey's too, is making, we called it potion making, because of course they're going to love making potions. So saying, okay, what do we have issues with? Dustin, you have issues with anxiety. So what would make you feel better? And his potion turned out to be like a protection potion that is there to stand up for him, that makes him feel safe wherever he is. So then we went, okay, here we have all these herbs. And what is it that jumps out to you that might do that for? Absolutely. And he picked out the herbs that he wanted to do. We infused it with some oil, and he took a couple crystals that he felt made him feel safe and put them in the bottom of the potion jar. And he was able to use that energetically when he felt anxious and anxiety. He was able to kind of anoint himself with that, and it made him feel better. Now, he would never admit that now. He's 19. He'll be 20 in May. He would never admit that now, but I have it, so he can't deny it. First herb she did was basil, planted them. Yep, and that's a huge thing too, is gardening. They are great with the gardening because they're able to see it come up. And then as you use it, you talk about, well, this is what I feel for this herb, but this might not be what you feel. What do you think this herb would do for you? They are so connected, yes. Hi, Courtney. My son met his first pagan friend in 3rd grade, and we became part of the coven his family was involved with. That is awesome. Seasons, cycles of life, herbs, stones, absolutely, for sure. And yes, my kids all had their own magic box too. They all had their own little altar kit, we called it. And it was basically, you know, in a cigar kind of box. And they had the stones that they felt they wanted in there. They had a representation of the elements, so you talk to them about the elements. They had their potions that they would make. They had, what else? If they're too young for candles, you can get, you know, the battery-powered candles and put a candle in there for them. My 5-year-old nephew loves studying science with me, but his mom's pushing Mormon and Jehovah's Witness cartoons at him and gets upset with me just for exposing him to Bill Nye. Oh my gosh, Leland. We all have to deal with that. I know. Hi, Donna. I know. I was going to say, too, just show them how normal you are. Exactly. That's exactly it. I was going to say, we all are going to have to deal with fanatical people on one side or the other. I will tell you, we had a couple different experiences that were not great with my kids. One was, there was Joey, my youngest. He had a friend who would come over and spend the night a couple times and stuff. And Joey felt that he probably was a medium like he was, that he saw people who had transitioned. And I got a phone call from his mother one time after he had been over, bitching me out because Joey had talked to him about what he sees and that he sees people who have transitioned. And the mother said to me, you know, we are trying to take him into a psychiatrist and stuff because the psychiatrist thinks that he may be bipolar and stuff. And I don't think this kid was bipolar at all, but I think his parents, there's no way that they were going to accept anything like that at all. So he was not allowed over at our house anymore because I said, well, this is, you know, I'm not going to tell Joey that he can't talk to him about his experiences. He was trying to make him feel better, and he was trying to, you know, make him not be afraid of stuff. And that was not a good answer for her. So he wasn't allowed over to our house anymore. I feel bad, but. Yes, he already says he prefers the science stuff over the religious stuff. Yep, I believe it. Darby, just starting to get into witchcraft, doing my first Goodwill and dollar trips. Yay! Dollar store trip Sunday. Good. All right. Let us know how it goes. Bipolar. Yeah, I know. My 7-year-old nephew speaks to rocks and made a sigil on the school playground for it to be a safe place with no bullies. Love it. So the other problem that we had, and I think I've said it before on my channel, but is that when Joey was in middle school, he brought a little crystal vial with a little cork on the top of it that you can wear around your neck, and put a little string through it, and it was for anger issues. And he would take it out and smell it when he wanted to beat the crap out of somebody who was annoying him. And rather than, get all worked up about it, he was like, okay, I'm just going to bring this. And he opened it up and smelled it. And apparently he let a couple other kids smell it. And literally all it was lavender and lemongrass. Essential oils. That was it. Lavender. Or no, it was herbs. Lavender and lemongrass herbs. And I got a phone call. We had to have...
No, hold on. That shit pissed me the fuck off.
I know it did.
Because, on some real shit, that annoyed the hell... let me brush it up.
He would like to come in and talk about it. I do not believe children can have bipolar. I am bipolar and read a lot on it. It's more likely when you're a young adult. Absolutely. Yep. Hi, Angel. Welcome. I don't have kids, but I think as long as nothing is forced.
The most is I was originally going to bring it in the bag, and then I was like, you know what? Let me bring it in a jar so they know it's nothing.
Exactly. There's my big stool. My big yellow stool is right behind this. So you have someplace to sit.
I'll leave the story. I'll just stand.
Oh, all right. Well, you're too tall.
I don't know. I don't need you.
All right, so tell them the story. What did you do?
I was in class, and it was in the hallway, actually. I was literally going to take a piss. That's all I was doing. And this kid saw me smelling it because I was literally getting ready to beat the shit out of someone. And so I was like, okay, just calm down. I'm not going to hit him. So I was like, I'm going to take a break, go to the bathroom. I'll be fine by the time I get out. Kid saw it, must have thought it was pot or something, but I didn't realize it. Like, I didn't comprehend it. I was furious. But so he was like, yo, can I smell that? And I was like, sure. Fucking here. And he took it, and then he just bailed. I was like, okay, jackass. Like, I'll go fucking crush some more at home.
Yeah, right?
Not thinking about it. And then later on that day, it turns out he, turned it into the principal's office trying to say that I was trying to sell pot to people.
Oh, yeah, out of the little glass jar this big.
What are you talking about?
Oh, yes.
What's worse, they were like, are you sure you have no idea? Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Nope. Did I just see boop? Hi, Maddie. Yeah, so what ended up happening, we got a phone call. Peter and I got a phone call saying we had to come for a parent-teacher conference. And we're like, okay. Look at a piece of incense. Did you give this pot to another student? Right? I know. Selling those good downers. Right? So we got a phone call saying we had to go in. And I have to say, I notoriously am not the good parent going into school. Peter always had to kind of come, or it ended up not so great.
That wasn't great either. You remember when you told the principal, you point that finger at me again, I'll shove it up your ass?
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. But if I'm there and I'm worked up, he usually is calm. So it usually works out a lot better. But he, I was always the one to get pissed off and yell at them, and meaning the school, because of course, Mama Bear, I would always defend the kids, especially if I knew they were in the right. So it was not easy for me. Hi, little dandelion. Always feel it's good for children to be involved in ritual. Yes. Uh-huh.
I don't know what's worse. Is because after that, I couldn't bring it. The next day, I beat the shit out of a kid. Like, in the locker room.
I remember that.
Yeah, because, you guys got a call after that because I smashed a kid's face on the fucking benches in the gym. Because he said something about the pie. It was one of the kid's friends who, turned in the vial of random, or it was literally like lavender.
Lavender and lemongrass. I remember, because I remember saying to the principal, we could have gone and picked that in the yard, for all you know. There is no anything bad to this at all.
It must have been like the kid's friend or something. He was like, "You saw any pot today?" And I was like, "Oh, you picked the wrong day, dude. I don't have anything to calm me down."
Yes. So it ended up, first of all, the school had an absolute fit, and I. Smashing someone's face in. Sounds legit. Yeah, right. I had said, like, I was on my little soapbox, and I had said pretty much immediately, I always defended my son when he was in school. They accused him of having dope at school. He had some lavender too, see? You've got to watch that addiction to lavender and lemongrass. Yes, that's right. Hey, snitches get stitches, right? So I went in with the intention of like calling the news and saying religious discrimination. And I'm like, look, this is a part of our religion. So I don't think you should be able to say anything about it. There is nothing bad in this. And hi, Shamara. And there's nothing you can say. Hi, Witchy Woo. I wasn't even pagan yet, and kids were making a big deal about me learning how to read tarot cards and see auras. Really? It's horrible. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Annoyed the hell.
I know.
It skeeves me out of this day.
Yeah, I know. Every time you hear it, you have to come out and say.
Because it was like specifically so I didn't punch kids in the face.
Yeah, I know. I remember that.
Issues back then, and I was like, Mom, I'm gonna start hitting kids.
I know it. So we specifically said, okay, let's make up something for anger for you. And so I was on my little soapbox and said, religious discrimination and all that. And I was really annoyed with them and was determined to tell them to shut the fuck up. And she literally said to me, we don't allow any religious anything in this school. And I said, really? So you're going to tell me that people who wear crucifixes and open their Bible up in school, you're going to tell them, no, they can't do that in school? And she goes, yep, I sure would. I thought, you motherfucking liars. I was so pissed. And the whole time Peter's going, Jen, calm down. Calm down, Jen. I'm like, calm down my ass. This is such bullshit. I said, then they wanted us to get a prescription written from our doctor for it. And he could go, right? I know. And he could go down to the nurse's office to smell it if he needed to. And I'm like, yeah, by then he's going to hit somebody. It was just insane. Wait, somebody found a tarot deck? Hey, Lanaby, you found a tarot deck at your thrift store? Good for you. So I pulled him out of school and homeschooled him after that. To hell with narrow-minded assholes. Well, it's funny you have to say that. Yep. I did the same thing. I pulled Joey out of school. He hasn't been in school in 3 years. He's supposed to be a senior now. And so no. I was like, I'm so done. I'm done. A prescription for oils. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it does me too. And I was like, I'm so not going to take this bullshit. And then I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. For one thing, I didn't want to go to the news because if you've watched my channel for a while, you know my husband Peter had issues in the past, and I thought, yep, they're just going to bring that up in the news and stuff, so I just didn't bother. You see where he gets the anger from, right? Yeah, they were crazy. Yep. Prescription. Yeah, for lavender and lemongrass. I know. Yep. It just was, it was just ridiculous. So we had issues with the school. So I'm just telling you ahead of time that if that is the case for you and you are going to, teach your children this, just be aware that you could have issues with the school. Good thing I figured out things witchy-wise for the most part after I graduated high school, right? I know. So I do have some book recommendations, and they are responsible for educating kids. Oh, you are not kidding, Stephen. I'm telling you. There are those bullies that go around antagonizing people, yep, because they couldn't do any violence, and it would just escalate the problem. Oh, for sure. Homeschooling for the win. That's right. We found out that one of our students was pagan, and I caught my uber Christian coworker praying over him during nap time. Oh, yeah. What do you do about holidays like Beltane for kids? I pull my kids out. My kids did not have to go to school if it was, well, Beltane, yeah, I would have fit too. Beltane was on May 1st, so usually we didn't have to worry about it. I saw, yes, DJ Conway passed, yes. I sent my son with lepidolite. Yep, absolutely, I did too. Someone prayed over my child without consent. Oh yeah, that would be the end of them. But that won't hurt him, though, being prayed for. I know, Alchemy, and I'm not saying that. However, they preach that they don't want any religion in school. What they really mean is they don't want any religion but what they believe in. So, to have, I mean, do you have, the only thing I think of is, would it be okay if it was reversed? If we as pagans went into a Christian child, DJ Conway, she died on Imbolc, Rich. She did. If we went into school and when a Christian child was napping, we invoked Hecate and said, yeah, they would think we were cursing them and said, I want you to watch over this child, blah, blah, blah. And everything good. I'm not saying anything bad. Everything good. They would flip out. They would say that it was not allowed. You cannot do that. And so I do not want their stuff on my kid either. If they're not going to allow us to do the same, and exactly, it's disrespectful to the child and parent. It's a different form of prayer from Christianity, and the prayer energies can clash. Absolutely. I kept seeing a book about Wicca for the family. The cover's creepy, but I also don't have any children, right? She was praying out loud, so it wasn't subtle. Yeah. It's disrespectful to pray over someone else. Yeah, absolutely. Oddly enough, I prefer to die on a celebration day. It's kind of fitting. And it is for her, too. I think DJ probably planned that out, boy, because I posted, Rich, on our Facebook page an article that talked about how she would have planned it for Imbolc Day if she could have. So, okay. So the first book I do recommend is the Family Wicca book. This is a great book. Again, the author of this, I just shared a screenshot in the group about an occult ad, and a lot of the comments were saying it was the work of Satan. Oh, gosh. It's definitely the intention. That's it. This is it. Haha. Yes, Rich, you do. If you don't know how to get there, message me, and I will invite you to the group. Is that bad? At first, I thought DJ was a guy. Of course it's not bad. How are you supposed to know DJ is a girl? You have no way of knowing that. So this book is by one of my favorite authors, Ashleen Ogaya. She's the one that writes the books about the Sabbats that I love. This is a really great book for introducing Wicca, talking about, things to do for the Sabbats. Work of satin better than the work of polyester, I guess, right? Yep, I go to a Christian school and it gets so awkward, pagan or not, when someone prays for you out of the blue. Once got stopped in the hallway by a group I didn't even know, right? Religious issues is why the principal at my son's elementary school knew my name, and is also why the teachers allowed him to be bullied. Ugh. Yeah, I have to say, as a pagan, I can't tell you that you have to homeschool your kids, obviously, but unless you have a very open school, and I thought that our school was very open. I mean, we live in New York, for goodness sakes. We don't live in Georgia or anything, which I expected when we lived in North Carolina. And nothing against the South, guys. I'm not saying that. But you guys know in the Bible Belt, it's a lot harder to get away with any other religion but, the Baptist religion that they all were raised with. You really have a hard time. So I expected that in North Carolina. I did not expect that in New York. When I was in the church, certain people would offer to pray for me, and my reaction was, I'd rather you didn't. Yeah, please don't. I've had quite a few evangelicals pray over me to be released from my contract with the enemy. Oh, gosh. I know the author of Family Coven, Birthing Hereditary Witchcraft. Cool. And I do live in Georgia, and it's exactly like that. There you go. I know, because it was like that, in North Carolina, and we weren't even that south. So again, great book to start out with for sure. Maybe we need an anti-defamation group for the families of pagan or witchy families. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. A lot of kids I went to kindergarten with didn't even know the religions, I bet. Just send in the request. Don't think I got the second answer done before I press. That's okay, Rich. I know you. You would be surprised how open the Christians in Indiana can be when it comes to witchcraft. Haven't had issues. Great. That is awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. For real. South Carolina, you will meet strangers who will want to pray for you. I know I often say that I was surprised when we lived in North Carolina that my patients and stuff would ask me what church I went to. My patients. Like when I worked in the hospital as an x-ray tech, you would have patients go, okay, all right, honey, thank you. You would have patients say to you, what church do you go to? And in New York, we don't discuss our religion at work. That doesn't happen. We are moving from the more accepting area of Nashville to a tiny town of less than 400. They have 6 churches. Oh my goodness, Allison. Whoo. Whoo. I'm in Oklahoma, known as the buckle of the Bible Belt, right? Yes, there are a lot of Florida people for sure. That happens in Utah with the Mormons. I have to say, though, when I was in Salt Lake City, there was a lot of pagan shops. There was a lot of people that were very accepting, too. But I wonder if it's the area because it was a bigger area. There's literally a church on every corner. Actually, the Freedom from Religion Foundation will help with situations of religious discrimination, even if you yourself are from another religion. Rich is now in the group. Yay, Stephen, thank you. I was on family vacation once to see the Devil's Tower landmark. I had a rock shirt on and blue hair. This elderly lady handed me a pamphlet on the Bible. Oh, yes, I know. New York, I know. If you get someone... You don't go to church, it gets even more awkward. Yeah, I know, exactly. I said I went to church in my home, and they were like, oh, is your husband a minister? And I'm like, nope. My church is outside my home. My church is nature. And that look they give you. Oh, I see. There's a lot of paganism in Salt Lake City, but yeah, that's true. However, there are articles out there talking about how paganism has been increasing in population. I believe it. I totally believe it. That's true. I think there's a group already. My high priestess references one for pagan rites often. I know, I do too, but it's hard to know. At the time, we didn't have all the resources that we have now, for sure. All right. So that was the first book. There's lots of books too that are not necessarily pagan, that will help too. I do have an entire series Nope, I'm a minister and watch them freak out. I know, exactly. Because while there are plenty of churches and Christianity is still the biggest thing in Australia, it's just nowhere near as intense. No kidding, Kat. That is interesting. 1% is still not a large part of the population. That's true what you will, but I will tell you that I think it's more than 1%, first of all. Old Turtle is a great kids book, for sure. I love that one. There's a whole series of Old Turtle books. And I think a lot of people are in the closet and are worried about, how people will react if they came out of the closet, so they won't say. And I do think it's a lot more than 1% now. I'm waiting for this recent census. And so I do have to say, even if you're in the closet, and if you can't, you can't. But boy, it would be great if, even if you're in the closet, nobody can know that census information, guys. Although I can understand if you definitely don't want to, because Trump, you can't trust Trump. But the census will be coming out in 2020. So when it comes out, if you are pagan, and I would put it on there. I would really love to see the statistics a little bit rise in statistics, so that we can say we have a bigger population than you think. For sure. Having said that, my grandmother and aunts were Mormons when I was young. They used to force me to go to church, and I got kicked out for asking too many questions. Oh, no. I've been an out of the closet witch for years now, and folks know I am. They can like it or leave me alone. Me too. I know it. How do you participate? You will, when 2020 comes, there will be people that come to your house to fill out the census, and they will explain it to you, and then they leave the forms with you, and then they come back to pick up the forms. Like, they literally will come around. There's people that come around to your house to get it done. So, and yeah, you can get it in the mail too. That's true. But if you don't respond in the mail, they'll come to your house, because it's an important thing to get done. So, absolutely. Okay. I highly recommend this one. Wow, I've never had that happen. You can put your religion on the census. Yes, absolutely, you can. Yep, it is a federal law. And that is how we will rise in power a little bit. Not that we're power hungry, but we will have more of a voice if we are able to prove that we have more people than they think, which is why I really want to get started. I know I've talked about this a couple times. I really want to get started and have a kind of talk about a pagan action group that we can, those of us who are out of the closet, if you're not out of the closet, that's okay. But can go into our communities and do good works in the name of paganism, so that they know, people start to recognize who we are, and that we're not Satan worshipers. Yep. How are plants crystals put here by God for us to use? Bad, right? I know. All right, Darby, thanks for coming. Okay, so this book is called The Rhythm of Family, Discovering a Sense of Wonder Through the Seasons. And this is really talks about going into nature, and gives you some idea of stuff you can do each month with your kids. Projects that you can do each month that will connect them to nature and teach them about nature. This book is by Amanda Blake Soule, Soule. And I really like this book too. It's got a lot of cute ideas in there for summer. Obviously it's easier to connect in the summertime, but there's lots of stuff that you can do. Hi, Papa Squirrel. This one is Planting Seeds, Practicing Mindfulness with Children. This book is by Thich Nhat Hanh. If you do not know who Thich Nhat Hanh is, I go check him out. He actually is in a coma, and he has been for quite a few years now. I think maybe 3 years now. But he is he's a Buddhist monk from Vietnam, and just such a bright, intelligent, peace-loving, incredible human being. And he talks about meditation in all different ways. He teaches about walking meditation, so that as you're just walking in your daily life, you can use meditation. This talks about introducing mindfulness, meaning living with a purpose every day, every moment, living as this moment allows, and introducing that to children. And it includes a CD that you can listen to with your kids that helps with the learning. Kids are so much better than adults at practicing being in the now and at meditation, that if we are able to start our children early, they will far exceed what we could ever think of doing as far as meditation, mindfulness, astral travel, all that stuff. Kids are so much better at it. What are your thoughts on the bill Trump wants to pass that will make it to where children have to take Bible study course in school? What? Yeah, that won't pass. I have to say, now, obviously, I try not to do a whole lot of politics, but you all know my thoughts on Trump. I'm going back to Wisconsin to live with my son. I know the kids will be asking questions. Now, that's a book I would like to have. It is a really good, the proposed bill is unconstitutional on its face. Exactly. That kind of bullshit from Trump is something that, as much as I think our country is screwed up, I know that won't pass. It can't. Exactly. Because of separation of church and state, boy, and I hate to say this because it's almost like a dare to the idiot Trump boy, but there's no way that would make it through the House and the Senate and then the Supreme Court, because it just wouldn't happen. That is not, it's not constitutional, and there's nobody in government besides the idiot that would even think that would be allowable. It just won't happen. He can't do that. He's not, as much as he wants to be an authoritarian dictator, he's not. So I wouldn't even worry about that. But yeah, he's trying to shore up his base. Okay, so a comparative religion class would be interesting, right? This book is called The Wildwood Way. This book is by Cliff Sarantine. And it's a series, actually. I think there's even another one after the two I have. But let me just read you the back, because this was a very interesting read, and I love this family. Discover the profound inspiration of the wild places. Author Cliff Sarantine and his family have lived their lives in the wilderness, homesteading, hunting, gathering, and treading lightly on the land while honoring its spirits. Let Cliff's graceful pen lead you to a deeper understanding of nature's magic as he shows you practical bushcraft skills and shares true stories of the sacred and enchanted to be found in the untamed natural world. In these pages, you will read tales of bear and deer, of towering maples and mysterious brooks, of the spirit forces to be found outdoors. The best way to come to know nature is to become part of its adventure. So Cliff teaches traditional skills like wild food foraging and tracking, as well as spiritual skills such as the ancient spirit journey. Blending the perspectives of a true naturalist with the depths of the shaman, Cliff Sarantine is a seasoned guide for your journey into the Wildwood Way. So, because he, look at that. Oh my gosh, can you imagine finding that out in the wild? That is crazy. Blue lace agate right there. So this is an incredible book. He followed that up. The second book is called Seasons of the Sacred Earth. And it just is kind of a continuation. He says in 2007, the Sarantine family relocated to a secluded Nova Scotia homestead. They made it a point to live gently upon the land by growing and raising their own food, living in balance with the surrounding forest, and honoring nature's spirits. In return, the land and the spirits looked after them. Seasons of the sacred earth follows life deep into their woodland hollow throughout a magical year. It is a marvelous journey into a place where gardens grow by love and magic, where children romp through enchanted forests, where mystery beckons by the light of fireflies, and living close to nature, they discover an ancient truth. The magical and mystical are never farther than earth and sky. So, absolutely incredible books, these two. Foraging like a squirrel. Yay! Absolutely. And he teaches us how to do it. Right? Really, really good ones. Love, love, love these. This one is called The Woodland Book. Not pagan at all, but very into nature. This is, let me read you the back. We all walk in the woods, but few probably stop to look around and investigate the sheer richness and variety that this environment offers. This guide shows how to make the most of the unique environments provided by a canopy of trees. You'll learn how to identify different kinds of woodland, assess the age of a tree from a stump, recognize woodland birds and animals, and even how to explore the canopy and build your own woodland shelter. Tessa Wardley and her family love playing in the woods. Here, she shares a host of brilliant ideas for relaxation, energetic activities, games, watching wildlife, as well as facts and stories about woodlands. And so again, 101 ways to play, investigate, watch wildlife, and have adventures in the woods. I forage now, right? Absolutely. I really... my daughter is starting to learn that magic is subtle, and she's frustrated that it can't be more flexible and full of fireworks on TV, right? I know, and that is the one thing that we really have to start out with children, is that, you know, the magic on TV is just that. There's a difference between the magic on TV with just a MAGIC and the magic that we practice every day, which is MAGICK, right? That's cute. All right, so then what else? You guys know I have a whole series of children's books that I read to the kids for pagan children called Bedtime Storytime series. And there are so many books out there that are pagan friendly. There aren't a ton of pagan books. There are some. One of them, obviously, anything done by Kyrja, Kyrja. That's the author's name. She has a whole series of pagan books about Rupert the Rabbit. And they're called Rupert's Tales is the first two books. And they incorporate all the Sabbats, and they teach children about the Sabbats. So we've been doing... one of the bedtime story times have been the Sabbat story before each Sabbat. So the Astara one will be coming up very soon. There is quite a few others. If you want, I think we should start a list. I will tell you that if you look on my Goodreads account, so I have an account at goodreads.com. I know I love my Rupert's Tales too. They're my favorite. If you look on my account at goodreads.com, Sunny the Squirrel Books, right? Absolutely. Hi, Autumn. I have an entire shelf of what I call pagan children's books. So they all of the books on that shelf, which there are a lot of them, are pagan friendly. So they either are nature-based books, or they talk about, tree spirits, or they talk about... Now, I do not have... Oh, look at you, Darian. Thank you. Perfect. I love it. There goes my internet again, but After an hour, I suppose that's good. It started out with one, and after an hour, we get one too. Sonny the Squirrel books. Absolutely. I think we should start making them. Rupert's Tales. Yes. Rupert's Tales are just the greatest books. I think we should make a series of Sonny the Squirrel books for sure. I think that's a great idea. That entire shelf is full of books that are pagan friendly. And I will say that there's lots of different religions represented there. I include, as far as I'm concerned, my pagan children's books include all kinds of different religions on purpose because, like Hindu religions believe in lots of the same gods and goddesses that we do. I incorporate some of Buddhism. I incorporate some of the religions of the islands, with Pele and that kind of thing. So I incorporate all kinds of different religions into that, and also non-religion ones. So books that are about nature and animals and respecting nature and animals as a whole. They, to me, are all pagan-based or pagan-friendly books. What I don't incorporate are Christian children's books that are judgmental about other religions. And I feel bad because I know I have said that I am open to all religions, and I am. It becomes harder when Christians are not open to our beliefs. So, for instance, there's a book that I thought was going to be a pagan-friendly book that is entitled something about witches. And it is, I have it, and it is on my shelf, and I will never read it to my children or my grandchildren because and you will see that, I was just bringing it up because you will see if I review a book, a children's book, take a look at it because some of them are not going to be good things. That book, I know I reviewed and said, what the hell is this? This is, it literally talks about how this little girl thinks she's a witch and her aunts come to her and tell her how horrible it is that she could possibly think that because that's evil and that's blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, so, but I will say that in the review. So you are, don't get the book without reviewing it or looking at my review, because I will say that if it's that kind of book. Yeah, it's really not great, for sure. Book of Greek mythologies. Absolutely. This chat reminds me of how much I want to start a family. Absolutely. For sure. There's tons. You guys know, if you have followed me on this channel at all, you know I have tons and tons of children's books. I have been growing my grandchildren's shelves for years now, even though I don't have grandchildren yet. But I'm ready. Not that I'm pushing my children. I'm not at all. It's okay. When they're ready, that's fine. But I want to be ready. So I have lots and lots. I do have, the sweetest little great niece, which I had when she came up here with my niece. So cute. Oh my gosh, she is just the cutest thing. So, and I was able to read her some of that. And I also have a couple of kids that I read pagan books to all the time who are a very good friend of mine from a long time ago. Had children later, much, much, much later than I did. And so has real young kids. And like her daughter, I think I was talking about that. Her daughter is a ginger and is definitely going to be a witch. She is all about stones and herbs, and she's talking about it all the time. And so my friend Erin, who's not a witch but is okay with it, called me up and she's like, okay, we have to go to the pagan shop because Katie wants to get some stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. I'll go with her. So, and she's finally getting old enough where I should be able to pick her up soon and really get into her head what I think. That means tarot stock. What did I mix? Finally got taxes done and got a good amount back. Oh, good. That means tarot stock, here we come. Oh, good. Put it away, Maddie. No spending that on thrifting. I love my grandchildren, but had my grandchildren opted not to have any, that would have been fine too. Exactly. I'm using my taxes for that as well. Yay! Yay. I have grand dogs for now, right? There you go. Absolutely. Native American shaman. Yay. I'm so glad. I can't wait till tarot stock, you guys. I really can't. It's going to be so fun. Hi, Rochelle. Welcome. Okay. So the other things are just, I mean, really just keep yourself open, and open your children's minds to new experiences. Obviously, you know, you have to base things on how old they are. You can start talking to them about gods and goddesses. I would not, you know, talk to them about drawing down the moon or, you know, anything that they aren't ready for. But you can talk about, you know, if they have something that needs healing, you can talk to them about various healing goddesses. If they really like the moon, you can talk to them about, you know, doing rituals in front of the moon. I always incorporated the Sabbats with my kids, and they really enjoyed that. No great right discussions. Yeah, I would skip those. Yep, until an appropriate age, for sure. But you can, you know, at the same time, you can talk to them. I mean, Beltane is a Sabbat. You kind of have to bring up a little bit to tell them what Beltane is about. And so my kids, because I am who I am, I always talk to my kids. Yeah, no teaching the young children how to hex. Yeah, that would probably be a good idea. My little loves Buddha and Ganesh. There you go. See? Awesome. My cat likes to chase Cheerios, and whenever he bats it to a place he can't get, he comes back and waits for it. My boys loved to learn about it all. So, and I was a pretty open mom. So they, you know, at Beltane, we talked about how back in the day, actually they used to line up and choose a partner for the day, and it didn't have to necessarily be the person that they were joined with. In the town, one person would be chosen as the goddess to be, and one person would be chosen as the horned man, and they would specifically be sent out to do the deed, to bless fertility on the entire town. And if that relation resulted in a child, that child was automatically put forth for priestesshood or priesthood into, you know, magical studies. And we talked about, you know, how people would have sex in the fields to promote the fertility of their crops. And, you know, they would laugh about it, but they were really good about it. My son got to learn about most of it. Now he can teach, or I discuss with him before I would. I don't like the idea of crossing lines, right? Absolutely. I think I've talked before about how I brought Joey, gosh, I don't know how long ago it was. He's 17 now. He was probably 12 or 13. I think he was probably 13. When I brought him to a pagan campground who does Sabbath weekends, and they have whole weekends where they have big campfires and stuff. That's where I met Margot Adler, as a matter of fact. And this campground was skyclad friendly. And so there were people around there who were walking around in the nude. And as a 13-year-old boy, I thought, I don't know how he's going to do with this. Are we going to be okay? So we just kind of sat down and said, okay, look, just so you know, my baby witch's friend's daughter is approaching the age of her first period. Oh, good. Are you going to have a ceremony? I love that. I didn't have girls, so I could never have those cool ceremonies. But I have 2 kids, never forced my beliefs on them. Absolutely. And I didn't force my beliefs on my kids either. They were welcome to participate and they were welcome to not. PJ, my second son, he didn't have much interest. He participated a couple times probably, but didn't have much interest. My other 3 did for a while. Dustin now, not so much. But they were aware that it was there. All right, Allison. Thanks, honey. We just had a discussion with Joey about, okay, there's going to be some people here who don't have clothes on, and that is part of their belief system, and that they want to be close to nature without anything in between. Oh yeah. Okay. Thank you. 2014. Okay. So 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. So that would have been 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. I was right. Hey, yay, math. So he would have been 13. And so he was really good about it. He was really good about it. My granddaughter is just now on her 2nd moon. Want to come help me do? I would love to. Oh, I wish I could, Joyce. Like I said, math, right? So does that mean Joey is the youngest? Yes. Yes. Joey has kept up on it. Absolutely. He joins us for ritual all the time. He joins me for discussions all the time. I think because he's a medium, he probably is kind of predisposed to the concepts of the religion as a whole. But he was really good about, seeing naked people. And it wasn't, let's be honest, guys. Most people nowadays are not, they're not magazine material because of the magazines, not having a realistic view of what people actually look like. But, there was some out of shape people and there was some older people and, so it's not like, I'm trying to remember. I think I remember him saying there was like one woman there who was decent looking in the nude. And I'm like, yeah, well, specifically don't look at that one then. But he did really well with it. And as a matter of fact, it was a weird experience for me too. Because, in America, we're kind of prudes. We're not real big on nudist behavior all over the place. We don't have a lot of nude beaches kind of stuff. It's mostly illegal. Yes, exactly. Yep, absolutely. They had a swimming pool there that, the sky-clad people could just jump in. And so we were swimming with people who were sky-clad. And he was so good about it. Kids are so much more accepting. So much more accepting. They really are. Just got drawn down the rabbit hole of the Facebook page. Oh, yes, Rich, absolutely. Very much, which is a shame how we deal with it. I know, like we're still living in a Puritan society. I know, absolutely, Autumn. And it's like we talked a little bit about, the breastfeeding issue now. There's such a huge deal about people get offended if a mother is breastfeeding her child. Really? Give me a break. I mean, literally, I have seen videos where people walk up to a mother breastfeeding her child and tell her to put it away. Like, are you kidding me? Give me a break. We are ridiculous in this country sometimes. That's insane. Absolutely insane. Yes, it is. Thank goodness, because it's really better for the kid. So, all right, guys. What are we doing? Thank you. But not personally a group sky-clad person. Exactly. And me too, Rich. Although I will say, hold on, let me read the rest of this and then I'll come back to you for 1 second. At Sabbath, one time with the coven, my son had to help an older naked man down from the steps of the pool. There you go. I know. And kids are so good about it. It is not It is now not indecent exposure in all states. Well, that's good, because I think we're so ridiculously prude about it. I lived in the Netherlands for 3 years. Huge difference. Oh, I bet. I love clothing optional places. There you go. I liked their idea better, so I tried to bring my kids up that way. Perfect. Yes, breastfeeding, the original purpose for our breasts, is offensive. Yes, I know. How dare we? Yeah, Melania Trump could post with her neckline down to her navel. Yeah, and that's completely normal. Okay. Yeah, I have no issue with all the scantily clad women walking around everywhere. That's right. Exactly. Because the scantily clad women, they can think of having sex with them, but if they see a breastfeeding woman, that is not a sexual thing, so that must be horrible. So I will tell you that I thought about, I didn't, because, you know, when you're raised the way most of us have been raised, I thought about going skyclad a couple times while we were at that camp, because it is so normal and so natural. And you start to think, yeah. Well, and I have to say, I'm a person who loves being barefoot because I like to touch my feet to the earth. That is just, I have to do that as soon as it's anywhere normal, warm at all. Then I'm barefoot 99% of the time, except for when I'm at work and they won't let me be. So I really thought about doing it. Because I thought, you know, it's not a big deal. And because everyone there made it not a big deal, you thought, yeah, why don't we do that? Why is it? You know, a lot of early... I'll try to wrap this up. Hi, Wiley. I know, but like 4 times in one video now, that starts to piss me off. I hate Spectrum. A lot of early neo-paganisms. Hi, Sue. How are you, honey? Did most of their ritual work skyclad. And that was, again, because they didn't want the distraction of clothing to be a distraction from their connection with spirit. And I can see that. I have done rituals before with just a robe on. But because of where I do it, right? I might, if I go back to that camp, I might. I can tell you I won't be doing it in my house because I have neighbors all over the place. Like behind me is an apartment complex, and my neighbors, I swear to you, my neighbors down the street, I can't wait. I have to say, I can't wait for tarot stock, because these are the conversations we have in the shops when customers aren't there, right? Exactly. Because my neighbors down the street, that their back of their house backs up to my back lawn. They, every time I do ritual, they turn on their back light, and they're kind of looking out their door, trying to figure out what I'm doing all the time and stuff. And so there's no way that I could be out there skyclad, or forget it. I would have the cops call on me in a minute. I have done it with my robe on, and just my robe on, but not without that, not, at least not where I live, because I'd have it all over the place. See, it was lovely. I bet it was. I would love to be skyclad one time at the beach, since I love the ocean, but I'm scared of something going wrong. But it seems like a nice experience, right? And I will, Papa Squirrel, I will. I will get to, my guess is I'll go back to that campground, because it is an absolutely lovely place. I have a t-shirt of it that I wear all the time. It's called Brushwood. So if you guys, are in the New England or in the Northeast, look up Brushwood Campground, and you will see they do rituals all summer long. They do big, huge things. In fact, they have a huge festival called Sirius Rising. When the star Sirius rises, they have a huge festival, and they have all kind of pagan teachers there, and all kinds of conferences. It's a big conference. So that is, someday I swear I'm going to get to Sirius Rising. It's a whole week of stuff like that. So I'm almost certain I wasn't bread-fed. I'm bi and ace. I see naked people. I'm just like, okay, cool. Right? Tarot stock may just freak out those neighbors, right? Yay! Yay! Sounds good. Maybe if you drop your robe, you would get new neighbors. That would be good. I find men and women both have a fascination for breasts unless they have been breastfed. You never know. We had the cops called on us in Cali right after 9/11. The people that lived lower on the hill thought it was people lighting the hill on fire. That's awesome. Yes, we are a lot more relaxed about things. British people find the Americans are more narrow-minded. I know it. Would be an interesting study. Very cool. I would on the beach when I was young, right? Even when not wearing a bra, I walk around holding them. Right? That's funny. And it's just, it's just the way we were raised, unfortunately. I love being comfortable. Thin robe is fine for me. Total nudity at my weight and body age is not so much. I don't like scaring people. Hey, I am right with you there, Joyce. I'm telling you, it was not beautiful people there or what society deems beautiful. We're all beautiful. You and I, Joyce, we are beautiful. We're big women, but we're beautiful. But it was not all skinny broads there, let me tell you. It was normal, actual human beings. And that's why I almost did it, because I felt like, hey, you know what? This is a place where I would not be judged for that. So I was close, and I probably will. We are all beautiful. That's right. I'm such an Anglophobe, love British. Yay! All right, guys, so I'm going to quit for tonight. I'm not a skinny person either, right? Look, there are not many, I was just going to say, actual skinny people. Half of the magazines and stuff are touched up and airbrushed and, give me a break. I do too. I had a hysterectomy, an actual hysterectomy. Beautiful does not equal physically attractive or appealing. That's true. And it's funny that the norms of beauty change so much throughout the years because, when you look at older goddesses, look at, the Venus of Waldorf there. She's just like you and I, Joyce. I'm often naked at home. I'm a big lass. That's right. Absolutely. I'm not as skinny as I used to be, but I love my body now more than I'd ever did. See, perfect. Or even older art. Yep, older art, same thing. It all depends on the person and what they find. That's right. A lot of the goddesses and stuff back in the day were not skinny little people. I have a Venus of Waldorf figure, yep, but with big scars. See, perfect. You're fine. And art and all that kind of stuff. It was a lot more. Be you, love you. That is right. That is right. All right. So I am going to leave it at that. If you guys have any more questions about kids and stuff, it's hard to teach kids that nudity is natural when society is so against it. Ugh, you are not kidding. It is hard. It is very hard. Scars are beautiful. That's right. I agree. It's, to me, it proves what a warrior I am. I've been through a lot of shit. Thank you for the advice tonight. You're right. Oh, you're here. Did you just get here? I'm sorry. Yes, you are so welcome. Remember the Greek goddesses especially. That is right. Hope there's a part 2 to this. Absolutely. So don't forget, Sunday night we are going to do the reset ritual. You never left? Oh, good. I thought you weren't going to be able to make it, but I'm glad you were able to stay then. Good. My 6-year-old mooned a kid at school last year. The kids thought it was funny, but the parents of the kid were threatened to call Child Protective. Oh my gosh. Give me a break. On a 6-year-old? Oh, people are so ridiculous. I love this big diverse family of ours. Me too, Kat. Absolutely. What time will the reset ritual be? I think it will be at my normal time. So, Kat, you and I have to get together, and I will make sure I message you. Hopefully, it would be good if we could do it right before that, but I'll message you to see. Oh, man, I try. I'm not comfy with my body. That's okay. And you know what, Caitlin? When you start out, I would start out just in front of a mirror and start some daily affirmation work with your naked body. Just figuring out when I should wake up, right? I'll message you, Kat. We'll figure it out together. You got to be on your statistics. Yay, good for you, Jackie. Pantsing people was popular when I was a preteen. Me too. Nobody called CPS. All right, love you guys. Jen and I still got things to finish up. Yes, Justin, I will message you for sure. I don't do mirrors. Oh, Shamara, we got to get you in front of a mirror with some affirmation. All right. So I will see everyone tomorrow at some point. My self-harm scars are some of my favorite things. There you go. They are battle scars for sure. All right, guys. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Yay for the weekend.